What's up, everybody? It's your boy C has Motivated Minds. So it's been about 2 weeks since I did my last video. And Lord knows I've been trying to get to it so I can post more videos because it's a lot going on and some things that I've been wanting to talk about, like this whole Young Thug and Gunna and YSL thing, but I just can't get to it. So I sat down and I said, today is going to be that day. Before I started it, I sat down to check the headlines like I always do because I want to see what was going on. And I came across this. He was picking up his brother at school. Now his family is suing in a fatal police encounter. And I just decided to read the first line. The family of an unarmed Colorado man who was fatally shot by police in a middle school pickup line filed a federal civil rights wrongful death lawsuit Tuesday alleging excessive force. It was a police shooting, but it happened last year, so we really didn't hear about it. Plus, when I saw the heading, it didn't have a picture, so of course it caught my attention. So when I Googled his name, this is what I found. So when I saw his picture, of course, I became even more interested. But then it just raised, a couple questions to me, and it made me also think about something that I have had discussion after discussion with people, or you can say argument, or however you choose to say it, that nobody wants to hear. White people get shot by the police more than blacks do. Yep, but the news will never show it to you because it does not stir emotion. Before I get into this and before I start talking numbers and statistics and all of this stuff, let's just see what happened here.
Tomorrow will mark 1 year since sheriff's deputies in Pueblo shot and killed a man outside a middle school, just shattering his family.
The district attorney decided not to pursue the case. As Denver 7's Colette Bordelon reports, now the family is filing a federal lawsuit.
I feel robbed of a brother. My mom feels robbed of a son.
Their memories also flooded with body-worn camera footage
I'm a little nervous because I don't like cops.
of a day they wish never happened. The family filing a federal civil rights wrongful death lawsuit after these moments at a Pueblo West middle school led to the 32-year-old's death.
I'm just a normal guy just trying to get my brother,
Lawyers say Richard was sitting in his mom Christy's car after walking around the parking lot and accidentally getting into a car that looked like his mom's. Deputies from the Pueblo County Sheriff's Office responded to reports of a suspicious person at the school.
You thought it was your car over here and you were looking for your brother, but not quite sure that
I straight up thought that was my car.
This footage provided by lawyers on the case shows the questions continue.
Do you have any weapons?
I don't think so. I had a pocket.
You don't think so?
And in a different video, you see Richard take something. Lawyers say it was his anxiety medication.
What is this sticking around? Read a fucking pill. There's a pill. Let me go. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Put your hands behind your back.
He's pulled out of the car,
Put your hands behind your back, bro.
and while wrestling on the ground, 3 gunshots are heard.
Remember, Richard Ward was unarmed.
The sheriff's office said Richard tried to grab the deputy's gun.
Is my son shot?
His mom, Christy, was in the front seat. A letter from the district attorney explaining why the office did not file charges against the sheriff's office says deputies didn't help Richard when he was on the ground because they were worried for their safety and about the other people in the car. The family says they just want someone held accountable.
According to everything that I read, Richard Ward was riding with his mother and her boyfriend to pick up his brother from school. So while they were waiting in line, he decided to get out, and just walk around. On the way back to the car, he got into the wrong vehicle. So he quickly realized his mistake. He apologized, and he got out, and he went back to the right car. So, of course, the police got called, and they responded to reports of a suspicious man who may be on something trying to open doors. And the rest is history, as they like to say. Now, let's think about this for a minute. Could that happen? Yeah, that could happen. How many times have you been in Walmart or whatever store and you came out and you went to a car that you thought was yours? Do police show up and they respond to stuff like that? Because could it be somebody who was actually on something? It could be. But when you look at the video, the guy, he was actually pretty calm. And I'm not trying to Monday morning quarterback this because it's easy to sit here and question everything that they do, right? Because it is a tough job. But the guy was really calm. But the dude reacted when he put something in his mouth. White people get shot by the police more than blacks. And guess what? They should. Why? Because blacks make up 12 to 14% of the population. It's just that when you look at the percentages, of course, the smaller number is going to have the larger percentage. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to believe it. The news really does not report it because it does not stir emotion from the masses. The researchers calculated the rate of death and years of life lost by race, ethnic group for all fatal police shootings per quarter per million, which is PQPM, of the population from 2015 to the first quarter of 2020. From 2015 to May of 2020, there was 5,367 fatal police shootings that was reported to the Washington Post. So some of those shootings, there was missing details on race and ethnicity. So that left a total of 4,653. So in that time frame, 51% of those fatalities were white, followed by 27% black, 19% Hispanics, 2% were Asians, and Native Americans made up nearly 2% of that as well. When y'all looking at this and you see the term BIPOC, it stands for Black, Indigenous, and People of Color. So basically, minorities is what it's talking about. So let's look at this real quick, and I just want to point out something. You know, oftentimes we hear that African Americans, I hate that term, are disproportionately affected by whatever. You know, so we hear that, you know, African Americans are disproportionately shot by the police and African Americans are disproportionately affected by this, this, and that. But again, I want y'all to remember we only make up about 12 to 14% of the population in the United States. So if you look at, let's say, the Native American population in the United States, they make up about 2.9%. So do y'all not think that they are disproportionately affected by some of everything? So when it comes down to these police shootings, guess what? Native Americans are also disproportionately affected, but we don't really talk about that. So again, when you look at this and you look at the total number of that 4,000 or some odd number of people shot by the police or the fatalities, 51% of those were white. And it should be, because again, they make up the majority of the population in the United States. So having said that, so another thing that this shows is that but then the question is why? And you know, we can theorize a lot of stuff, but at the end of the day, it boils down to the media and its portrayal of minorities in the country. And when I say minorities, you know, I'm speaking mainly of blacks and Hispanics. I mean, y'all think about it. When you turn on your local news, what's the first thing that you see? A murder in the black communities across this country, or in the Hispanic community as well, because we do see that, but we see more black, right? When you look at a lot of TV shows, when you look at movies, what do you see? How do you see oftentimes blacks or Hispanics portrayed? So check this out. If we know that just by the sheer numbers, we know that whites get shot by the police more than blacks, more than Hispanics, more than any other demographic in this country. But blacks and Hispanics are more likely to get shot by the police, specifically unarmed blacks and Hispanics. Then the question is, why are the police or the general public afraid of people who look like me or my boy Jose? I'll tell you why. Remember that statement that I made? I was just talking about the media. Jim Morrison of The Doors had this quote that he said, "He who controls the media controls the minds. It's the images that we see. That's why. And it's constantly perpetuated by the media. It's rare to see a positive story about minorities in this country. But our elementary, middle, junior high, high schools, and HBCUs are packed with young, bright minds. But you never hear about them. So anyway, I just wanted to show y'all that whites get shot more by the police than blacks. We are more likely to be shot by the police. But it is statistically impossible that we are shot more, right, or killed more by the police, just by sheer numbers. Matter of fact, it is statistically impossible that we are disproportionately affected by everything. High blood pressure, heart disease, poverty, name it. But, let the media tell it. I'm just saying. Anyway, this your boy CS Motivated Minds. I just want y'all to think about it.